The conference room fell silent as Sophia Williams closed another multi-million naira deal with nothing but sharp analysis and unshakable confidence. At 26, she had already built a reputation that made CEOs twice her age lean forward when she spoke. Hello guys, welcome to my channel where interesting stories are told. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Sophia Williams was brilliant, composed, and fiercely independent, a strategy consultant who had closed deals across 3 continents before her 25th birthday. Yet no matter how impressive her career was, society still whispered one title first: daughter of billionaire Nathaniel Williams. Her father loved her deeply, but in the way powerful men often did, through control wrapped in velvet concern. He called it protection. She called it suffocation. So when Nathaniel announced over dinner one Thursday evening that it was time she got married, Sophia wasn't surprised. What shocked her was the name that followed. Johnson Macaulay's son, her father said, cutting into his pepper soup with surgical precision. Our families have built empires together for decades. Solid people. Old money. Respect. Sophia's fork paused me there. You've already decided. I've already discussed it, Nathaniel corrected gently. The boy is educated, well-mannered. You'll meet him properly next week. What her father didn't know, what Johnson Macaulay had carefully hidden behind expensive suits and rehearsed laughter, was that the money was long gone. Years of reckless investments, gambling debt spiraling into darkness, and a business empire crumbling like old bread had left Johnson desperate. His last hope sat in the form of Sophia's polite smile and the Williams fortune that followed her name like a shadow. If his son Ryan married her, access would come. Trust would bloom. And with trust, money would flow. A lot of it. But there was one obstacle standing between Johnson's scheme and success: Alex. Alex Peterside was everything Johnson despised. No powerful surname. No generational wealth. No connections that opened doors before he knocked. Just integrity, intelligence, and the quiet confidence that came from building himself brick by brick. He worked as a consultant too, earning just over 700,000 naira monthly, comfortable, honest money earned through merit alone. And Sophia loved him with a fierceness that terrified her father. They had met at university during a heated debate about economic policy. She had argued with passion, he had listened with respect, then dismantled her points with facts delivered so gently she'd laughed instead of getting angry. Late-night study sessions became shared dreams on campus benches. Alex never asked her for anything. Never leaned on her father's name. Never treated her like a trophy or a ladder. He loved her, not the world she came from. When Sophia mentioned Alex's name at dinner that night, her father's face hardened like cooling steel. A nobody, Nathaniel said simply. You'll forget him soon enough. But Johnson Macaulay knew better. Men like Alex didn't fade quietly. They had to be eliminated. So he did what desperate men do best: he lied. Johnson Macaulay moved with the precision of a man who had everything to lose. He hired Angela, an aspiring actress hungry enough to play any role for the right price. The script was simple: seduce Alex's attention, create compromising situations, and document everything. It started at a networking event Alex attended for work. Angela approached him with practice charm, asking intelligent questions about his consulting projects. She laughed at his jokes, touched his arm lightly, and suggested they grab coffee to discuss a fictional business opportunity. Alex, polite and professional, agreed to one meeting. That meeting became the weapon. Photographers Johnson hired captured them sitting across from each other at a cafe. The angle made casual conversation look intimate. Angela leaned forward conspiratorially in every shot. Later, she sent Alex professional emails that Johnson's tech person altered, innocent messages transformed into flirtatious exchanges that never actually happened. Then came the manufactured climax. Angela called Alex late one evening, claiming she was stranded after a business dinner went wrong. Her voice trembled with rehearsed distress. Could he help her get home safely? Alex, raised by a mother who taught him never to abandon someone in need, drove to the address she provided. The hotel lobby. She met him there looking disheveled, makeup smudged strategically. She hugged him in gratitude, a hug that lasted just long enough for the camera hidden in her purse to capture it. Then she insisted on buying him a drink to say thank you. He declined politely, but she persisted with tears that looked heartbreakingly real. He stayed for one drink in the hotel bar, uncomfortable but too kind to walk away from someone who seemed genuinely shaken. That drink became evidence of an affair. Within 48 hours, the photos landed on Sophia's phone. An unknown number sent them with a message, "Thought you should know who you're wasting your time on." The images showed Alex and Angela laughing over coffee, embracing in a hotel lobby, sitting together at a bar with drinks between them. The altered emails arrived next, forwarded from an anonymous account. Sophia's world tilted. She stared at the screen until her vision blurred. Alex had always been honest, transparent, grounded. But the evidence looked undeniable. The woman was beautiful. The messages were explicit. The locations were intimate. When Alex called that evening like he always did, she answered with ice in her voice. Who is she? Who is who? Confusion bled through the phone. Don't lie to me now, Alex. Just don't. He tried to explain the networking event, the stranded woman, the professional courtesy. But his words sounded hollow against the weight of photographs. Sophia had been raised in a world where people lied skillfully for money. She'd watched men deceive her father with smiles and spreadsheets. She knew how betrayal dressed itself in innocence. "We're done," she whispered, and ended the call before he could respond. Silence replaced love. Pain replaced trust. Alex tried reaching her for weeks, calls ignored, messages unread, visits blocked by security. Eventually, he stopped trying. Some battles couldn't be won when the other person had already decided you were the enemy. Right on schedule, Ryan stepped into the empty space, polite, persistent, always present at family gatherings. Nathaniel approved enthusiastically. The wedding was set for 3 months later. The wedding preparations moved forward like a machine Sophia couldn't stop. Designers measured her for a dress she didn't want. Caterers presented menus she barely tasted. Her father beamed with satisfaction, convinced he'd secured his daughter's future with the right kind of family. Ryan was pleasant enough, well-educated, good manners, never demanding. But when he touched her hand, she felt nothing. When he spoke about their future, his words sounded like someone reading from a script written by their fathers. Still, she told herself this was smart. Practical. Safe. Love had led her to Alex, and Alex had led her to humiliation. Maybe arranged marriages existed for good reason, to protect people from their own foolish hearts. 3 days before the wedding, while reviewing final guest lists in her study, an email notification chimed. The sender was anonymous, someone who believes you deserve the truth. Her finger hovered over the delete button. Spam, probably. Or worse, another malicious message designed to hurt her. But something made her click. What she found inside shattered everything. The first attachment was an audio recording. Johnson Macaulay's voice came through clearly, discussing payment terms with someone named Angela. "Make it convincing," he instructed. "We need photographs that look intimate but not illegal. Cafes, hotels, bars. He seems like a decent guy, so play the damsel card. Men like him can't resist helping." Sophia's hands began to shake. The second file showed bank transfers, Johnson paying Angela in installments. The dates matched perfectly with when those photographs had appeared on Sophia's phone. The third attachment was raw video footage, apparently captured by Angela's own phone before she edited it. It showed her rehearsing tears in a bathroom mirror, adjusting her makeup to look distressed, practicing her stranded woman voice. Then it cut to the hotel lobby where she hugged Alex, but the full footage showed him stepping back immediately, concern on his face, asking if she needed him to call the police. The video continued to the bar, where Alex checked his watch repeatedly, clearly uncomfortable, staying only because Angela kept insisting she was too shaken to be alone. Nothing had happened. Nothing remotely romantic or inappropriate. It had all been theater. The final document was a recorded conversation between Johnson and Ryan, discussing their plan to secure access to Williams' funds once the marriage makes us family. They laughed about how easily Sophia had been manipulated, how predictable her father's approval had been. Sophia sat frozen, the laptop screen blurring through tears. She'd thrown away something real for something fabricated. She trusted evidence over the person who'd never given her reason to doubt him. Alex had been innocent. And she'd destroyed him without even letting him defend himself. Her hands still trembling, she forwarded everything to her father with a single line, "We need to talk. Now." Nathaniel arrived at her study within minutes, his face already clouded with concern. She played the recordings without speaking. Showed him the transfers, the rehearsal footage, the conversation about exploiting their family. For the first time in years, her father listened instead of commanded. His face transformed from confusion to rage to something that looked almost like shame. He'd been so certain about Johnson's family. So convinced that old money meant old values. "The wedding is cancelled," Nathaniel said quietly, reaching for his phone. "Tonight." The cancellation exploded through legal social circles like a scandal too delicious to ignore. Nathaniel Williams didn't just cancel quietly, he made sure everyone knew why. Johnson McCauley's carefully constructed reputation collapsed in a single evening. Invitations were rescinded. Business partnerships dissolved. Debts that had been hidden suddenly surfaced like bodies in shallow water. The media feasted on it. "Billionaire exposes wedding scam," screamed the headlines. Johnson's schemes unraveled publicly, each thread pulling loose another lie. The gambling debts. The failed investments. The actress who, faced with potential legal consequences, confessed everything on camera. The friendship Johnson had tried to exploit was severed forever. But Sophia barely noticed the social aftermath. Her mind stayed fixed on one person, Alex. She found his address through old messages she'd never deleted, though she'd stopped reading them months ago. The apartment building was modest, clean, located in a neighborhood where people earned their comfort rather than inherited it. She climbed the stairs slowly, rehearsing words that all sounded inadequate. When Alex opened the door, his expression cycled through shock, confusion, and something that looked like carefully guarded hope. "Sophia. I know I have no right to be here," she said quickly, before courage abandoned her. "I know sorry doesn't cover what I did. But I need you to understand what happened. Not as an excuse, just as the truth." She showed him everything. The recordings, the payments, the staged photographs. Alex watched in silence, his jaw tightening as the full scope of the deception revealed itself. "You could have just asked me," he said finally, his voice quiet but edged with old pain. "Instead of believing strangers, you could have asked me directly." "I know." Tears she'd been holding back spilled over. "I was raised to trust evidence over people. My father taught me that everyone has an angle, everyone wants something. I forgot that you never did. I wanted you," Alex said simply. "Just you. Not your name, not your money." That was enough. They stood in the doorway, the weight of lost months heavy between them. Healing didn't happen instantly. Trust, once shattered, required time to rebuild. But Alex agreed to coffee, just conversation. No promises, no expectations. Coffee became walks. Walks became dinners. Slowly, carefully, honesty rebuilt what lies had broken. Sophia learned to choose differently. Her father learned to listen before deciding. And Alex learned that forgiveness, while difficult, was sometimes the bravest choice. 6 months later, when Alex asked her to marry him in that same cafe where Angela had once staged their first compromising photograph, Sophia said yes without consulting anyone. The wedding was small, intimate, filled with people who loved them rather than people who wanted to be seen. Nathaniel walked his daughter down the aisle with tears in his eyes and genuine respect for the man waiting at the altar. For the first time in her life, Sophia chose love over legacy, character over connections, truth over convenience. And it felt like freedom. Wealth can build empires, but only character builds lasting foundations. Evidence can be manufactured, but genuine love leaves traces no like an erase. When you find someone who wants you, not what you represent, hold on tightly. And remember, the most valuable inheritance isn't money, but the wisdom to recognize what's truly worth keeping. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and tell us what you learned in the comments below.